this, that, and the other. So I think that's a pretty neat title for today's episode. Why did I go with that? Well, today I'm going to look at some key issues. Most of them are top of mind for me. Maybe one or two of them are things that I see and hear people talk about. So there's 5 different things that we are going to be talking about today. Anything from your virtual meeting setup, which is a real tender point for me. That's a direct translation from Afrikaans, if there's ever been one. We're going to talk about marketing and prospecting, talk about the next generation of financial planners, as well as the power of community. So a full morning, joined by some amazing segment hosts, and let's get into today's show. Welcome to Propulsion Live. Good morning. Warm welcome back to another episode. And quite a few announcements today and some lucky things that you can win today. So I'm going to talk about that. It's been a while since we've given away something on the show, apart from the lucky draws we've done for people who answer our surveys, etc. And there is one overdue on that I actually need to do. But we are giving away some fantastic prizes today. So do hang around and hear what that is all about. But yeah, excited for today's topic. When I had to prepare for today, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? What are the things that are really, what one thing? And there's so many things at the moment. So I thought let me sort of think about things that are top of mind. So, and then, I don't know, I was driving back from Cape Town to Somerset West, and I was just thinking to myself, this, that, and the other. And that's how we got to today's title. And obviously the 5 things that I wrote down, that became the points I want to talk about today. And these are really, hopefully, some rapid fire kind of things. And out of this came a lot of new ideas for new episodes. So looking forward to that. But this is not about me this morning. This is about an entire show. And I'm obviously joined this morning by my incredible segment hosts. First up, we have Lilani. And she's going to do the news and regulatory updates and all of those good things with the compliments of the Financial Planning Institute. And then we have Kim Potgieter, who's back today and going to talk a little bit about psychology of money, some lessons that she's learned from that. So looking forward to that. And then today, also Kobus Klein with the Advisor's Path, talking about Mirror Success, his new book. So excited to hear a little bit more about that. A couple of announcements and really excited about what's happening at the moment in our world. So we'll do that. And then we'll get into the conversation. So yeah, an exciting morning. So good morning. Let me say a warm good morning to everyone. Thank you very much always for saying hi in the chat. I really love bringing your name on screen and just saying hi to you. It's really the highlight of the morning, I think, apart from the music as well. The music sets the scene and then the hellos absolutely gets us going. So please say hi, even if you're watching the recording. Do that. So Kobus was in here first. So good morning. Kobus is looking very snazzy this morning. You'll see him in a bit. Terence, good morning. How are you doing? Mr. Neil Phillips, how's it going? This thing is so small that I can't actually read on screen. So morning all from a stunning Cape Town winter morning. It's been the most incredible days the last 3 days or so, like really. I said to them, I think the Cape Townians make up rumors about the bad weather in the winter so people don't move here. I think that's the story, but let's find out. Tinus Brits, goeiemorgen. Nice to see you. Thank you for saying hi. Cindy, good morning. Nice to see you as well. Alfred, goeiemorgen. Good morning, my friend. How's it going there in Pretoria? Johan Basson, goeiemorgen. Nice to see you, Johan. Thanks for saying hi. Mr. Agliotti, good morning. I saw your name somewhere on something yesterday, and I was thinking, I need to catch up with you. Nico, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for saying hi. Johan Bloemeres, goeiemorgen. Hello, almal. We've got Elna Stein. Good morning. Happy Friday. Fantastic. David Kopp. Hello. I'll say. I'll fat I know. Goeiemorgen, Francis. Good morning. Thanks for saying hi. Ferry, good morning. I just learned like you are, well, I saw this somewhere that you are actually nephews for someone that went to school with me. Now, how incredible is that? So we need to chat about that. Anyway, Cindy, good morning. Nice to see you. Nikki, goeiemorgen, good morning. Nice to see you. It must be good just sitting there and just watching the news. It's a lot easier than doing it, right? Good morning, everyone. An exciting day it is today. Good morning, good morning. We've got Johan in the house. Good morning, Johan. Eloise, good morning. I'm going to run a little bit quicker for time's sake. Nico, good morning. Goeiemorgen. Thank you very much. Absolutely beautiful morning. Yes, Razan, good morning. Nice to see you as well. Jonita, goeiemorgen. Nice to see you. Jaco, goeiemorgen. Hope you're flying the Krugersdorp flag. Now that I'm not there anymore, Jaco, somebody's got to do it. Sareta, good morning. Nice to see you as well. Molibogeng, am I saying that correctly? Let me know. If I do, send me just a wave. That'll be fantastic. And Brandon West, good morning. Thank you very much for saying hi. Ladies and gents, wow, that was amazing. Let's get the show started and head on over to Lelani for the latest.
Yes, good morning, Francho, and everybody in line. I cannot help jiving to the tune every morning, and it just puts me in the best mood ever listening to your show and being on your show every morning. Thank you, Francois. And Nikki McDonald, you are on leave. But Francois, I think she's online to make sure that I'm actually doing current affairs this morning. And just a shout out, Terence, thank you so much. I'm seeing you using the CFP designation 100% perfect. Behind your name. And Terence, a special shout out. Thank you so much for the experiences of the onboarding journey that you are sharing with FPI. We are taking your feedback very seriously in improving the user experience as we onboard new members. Thank you. All right, let's jump straight into FPI current affairs. Now, yesterday, for the first time since before COVID, we had an FSCA meeting at the FSA's office. And I must say it was wonderful just to see everybody in person. Some people who you thought new players at the FSCA, but also new players at the various professional bodies that came together there. You know, you think people are short, then they're tall. And every time people see me, they go like, oh, you're a lot taller than we thought you were. So it was wonderful to see everybody at the Financial Sector Conduct Authority's office yesterday. And I think one of the things that was shared with us is the amount of RE fraud that is happening now. This is not within the examination itself, but this is with regards to people applying for employment in the sector, and then you submit your RE certificate. The certificates are fraudulent. So the FSCA is asking the employers to please make sure that you verify the RE certificates with the Financial Sector Conduct Authority themselves, or with Moonstone, or with a verification agency. So please make sure that the person actually did write, pass, and obtain the RE certificate, and that's more within the RE5 space. All right, so then an interesting article that I picked up in the publication of Financial Planning. It's on the most used AI tools for financial advisors. Now, in this article, Randy Carver, who's the CEO of Carver Financial Services, states that it's important to avoid the shiny object syndrome and look at what you're trying to solve versus picking up new software, and that tech will not grow your business, but it will accelerate it. He's also of the view that practices, firms, financial services providers should focus on using tech that speed up your workflow functions so that advisors can spend more time with their clients. He also states that AI and technology should not replace the human. So he does not have voicemail. He actually has a human being physically sitting in the office that answers the phone. And you can never workflow the human connection out of what it is that you're doing. He also then shares a peek into his stack of technology that he's using. So some of the technology and AI solutions that he's using is Salesforce Financial Services Cloud, or otherwise known as Salesforce FSC. And according to Carver, this platform integrates very well with other technology. And he mentions that Salesforce FST is not an AI platform itself, but that AI add-ons like the conversational Einstein Copilot can actually guide advisors. Now, remember, with integration, you need to make sure that the API plugins work, but integration sounds a lot easier than it really is. if you don't know the business processes of your business, integration can actually go quite wrong. Then something else that he used, I haven't heard of this one before. It's Jasper AI Copilot. Now, Jasper includes marketing materials and insights, and it's obviously a lot safer than the normal chat GPT that's out there. Another one that he uses, and I know, Francois, you've spoken about this one on your show before in your tech tips, is Calendly. So Calendly, is a free online servicing software tool that assists managing your calendar, but also when you try to actually book meetings. It's not 9 million emails where everybody goes reply or, oh, I'm available this day, this day. Calendly actually help you with that. Then he also uses Oasis, which is similar to the Otter AI. Now, that is this transcript tool that a lot of the times pops into meetings. So that Oasis transcribing tool actually assists with keeping records of meetings, but also providing quite an accurate transcribe of your meetings. Then last one that he mentioned is FP Alpha. So what is FP Alpha? It almost sounds like it's an investment tool, but it's not. So FP Alpha is a popular AI-based platform that helps advisors to read technical documents like a client's tax returns, the wills, the trusts, insurance policies, etc. And it can actually summarize what the document is all about, and then it gives you very pertinent action points. Obviously, this could never replace what you, as the competent financial planner, what you are doing. You obviously need to work through the documentation yourself, because we do know that AI sometimes gets it wrong because of its own AI type of biases that comes inherently with AI. Now, in another related article on financial planning, it states that advisors need more and better training when it comes to technologies, and I agree with that. So the biggest risk is not really using the best or new AI and tech solutions. It's actually the inadequate investing in the training for the people that actually needs to use the technology and AI. I've seen with a lot of practices, they've got Salesforce, they've got all the beautiful AI tools, but then because they don't understand the technology, or they're scared, or there wasn't really change management or proper training, they revert back to the Excel spreadsheets where somebody else deleted the formula a long time ago, so your answer is wrong anyway. Then very quickly, FSCA communication. This came out the week before this week, but it is important that we mention it. The FSCA has released a draft forms and updates for Section 14 transfers of the Pension Funds Act to obviously align with the incoming two-part system, which is 1 September. So this system restructure moves everything into the pots. So I was wondering when they were going to change the forms for the Section 14 transfers, because the two-part obviously comes in now because you can transfer between funds, between the various pots. So that form is out for public comment. I did post it on the FPI's member community, and the comments is welcomed by the 31st of July. So without picking on you, Piens, I am picking on you. Have a look at that form. If there's any public comment from the FPI's own committees, but also members or anyone into the Section 14 transfers, please forward it to the CEO at FPI mailbox by 25 July. Then a last update, congratulations, Francois, to everybody that passed the PCE. The pass rate was slightly lower, but we do know that later in the year, the lower the pass rate goes. So the next exam is actually July the 10th and 11th, and people can still register for the FPI's PCE in July. With that, Francois, there's a lot more I can share with you, but at the risk of missing what Kobus and Kim and yourself have to share with us this morning, back to you in the studio in Somerset West. Enjoy the Cape. Bye.
That's my kind of news segment. Thank you very much, Lalani. That was amazing. There's a couple of things I actually would have loved to say on that, but we don't have time. So next on, Kim Potgieter with Wellbeing and Money. And today talking about some lessons from the psychology of money.
Morning, everybody, and happy Friday. I'm hoping we're all going to have wonderful weekends ahead. I'm quite excited because tomorrow I'm running my workshop on midlife and how to recalibrate and make sure that it's your best chapter yet. So that's my excitement for the weekend. But what am I sharing today? And money and well-being, I realize them going together, I can't not talk about the book, The Psychology of Money. I'm hoping quite a lot of you have read it. If you haven't read it, I am encouraging you that it's an incredibly good read for us in the financial industry. What I found was, I read it a while ago, and then the more and more meetings that I'm going into with clients, they're bringing it up. So they're going, what did you think of this point? What did you think of that point? And what it did for me was it got me to go back and reread the book. And then what I did at Chartered was I bought 20 copies and I got a whole group of the younger financial planners. And and they get, when I come with my books, they want to run a million miles from me. But I went, guys, I think you all need to read Psychology of Money. I'm giving you 6 weeks and then we're all getting together to discuss the book. And I loved my time with them all in discussing the book. So if any of you have got colleagues that you're working with, I definitely think that this is a lovely book to all read and then to have a little bit of a session all together and discuss the pointers. Doesn't mean you have to agree with absolutely everything in the book, but I do think there's some really good pointers here. And the reason the book is so good, there was another point that I got out of the book, is because there's a whole lot of stories. So the book is just stories. And what I shared with the group of planners at Chartered about is how easy it was to understand the concepts and how important it is for us to develop our own stories so that we can be sharing them with our clients as well. So definitely a big lesson for me out of the Psychology of Money. So we know it, and I've spoken about it on episodes before in Propulsion, where I've shared about our relationship with money. Everything is about our relationship with money, and very much the message coming out of Psychology of Money is it's our behavior that actually is the thing that sabotages or makes a lot of what we do. But we often overcomplicate it because we believe that it's fancy investing and it's very involved investing that's going to get us where we've got to go. He questions right from the beginning of the book. Think about it for yourself. Think about it for your clients. He questions what is being rich and what is being wealthy. And it's maybe what we know already, but when we are rich, it's maybe potentially how much money we're earning so we can earn more and more and more income. But true wealth is actually what of that money are we keeping? What of that money are we actually investing? And then to support that, what is it we want the money for? And I mean, this is always a very interesting question to ask our clients. What is the money for? And we have to just have a look at what he shares in the book about the biggest dividend that we get from our money. I mean, I'd love to be able to ask you all, but think about it when I ask you the question, what is the biggest dividend that you get from your money? And he comes back with the control of your time. So if we just have to think about it, if we have this money, we have this choice. If we have these investments, we have this choice. Do we go into work? Do we work 4-day weeks? Do we work from anywhere? We have choice in everything we're making. And the bottom line to that all is we have control over what we do with our time. And for me, that is something that is so important and is always a great reminder to me, as sometimes I just get busier and busier and I take on more and more and I go, what are you doing? Where are you on your time? Are you controlling your time properly? And yet, just having that extra bit of money, we now have the choices to do it. Another really interesting behavior that he talks around is the one around optimism. So when we all do our own investing, we're very optimistic about what the future is going to bring. But he shares on how we need to be equally optimistic and paranoid, because guess what? There's a whole lot of curveballs that come our way. There's a whole lot of changes that happen in markets that absolutely nobody can predict. So he shares about us keeping that cash component, and that cash component being there for the risk, and making sure that if anything changes, we've got the backup to be able to help us. And then, as always, we get reminded of the story of if we don't get that relationship with money right, we can win the lotto, we can get huge windfalls, but will we actually keep the money? Because when we don't get the right habits in place, and we know they are the most important little things that we do that is important, as opposed to the big things that we do. Just getting those habits right, the consistency, the compounding, and when we get all of that right, we have the plan. And I think reading the book, more than the lessons that I got from the book, and the lessons were huge, so really encouraging you to read it. It was, for me, the absolute respect that I have for our industry, and the actual that I'm so proud of the industry we're in, because this is what we support people to do. So when I read the book, I went, this is absolutely in alignment with what we're telling our clients, what we're supporting our clients to do, and it's a great reminder. So reading the book, I thought, well, it would be also really nice to get a couple of copies of this book, and when certain clients come into us, write a message in it and just tell them how we are there to support them to make sure this happens. So again, I think it's a great read for you personally. I think it's a great read for you to share within your organization, and then to discuss the different concepts, and then finally to be able to then have these kind of conversations with our clients and enhance our conversations. And I do notice when a client brings up something that they've read, and there are over 4 million copies of this book that have been sold, when a client brings it up and you share that you've also read it, it actually just builds that connection between the two of you. And when you're building that connection, it's building the trust. And all of a sudden, they do have a completely more respectful opinion for your viewpoint and the effort that you're putting into being the absolute best financial planner that you can be. So if nobody's got any other plans for this weekend, maybe go out there, get the books. And if you're not into reading, his podcast is really good as well. And I did find quite a few YouTube videos that have been put together on the subject. So happy reading, happy exploring psychology of money, and may it help you to improve your relationship with money. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Kim. Fantastic. Really enjoyed that. And yes, I do. Yeah, here we go. There's the book. I have not finished it. I think I'm on chapter 1. But thank you very much for that reminder. Next up is Kobus Klein, Advisor's Path, talking about mirror success.
Welcome to the Advisor Path, and Kim, very profound. The Advisor Path is the pathway to your growth. This morning, I have the pleasure of introducing you to my new book, Mirror Success for Advisor. This book is a journey into what makes a successful financial advisor, and with a focus on advisors in the first crucial 5 years of their careers. Going with Francois's theme today, it is a mix of solutions for financial advisors with this, that, and many other solutions. The content is designed to guide you through the complexity of our profession while offering practical, actionable advice. The book is structured into chapters that cover crucial aspects of financial services, advice, and planning to guide you on the advisor pathway. Let me cover some of the content I included. I write about the power of setting goals and understanding the importance of clear, achievable goals to keep you motivated. I cover time management as a guide to mastering your time effectively to ensure productivity and an amazing client experience. I discuss the importance of building trust with clients and why it must be the cornerstone of any successful advisor-client relationship. I talk to the impact of continuous learning and the significance of ongoing education in our profession, and why it must not be underestimated and certainly not be about only obtaining your CPD hours. I focus on client communication and techniques to navigate difficult conversations and to enhance client interaction. I talk to the importance to over time consider establishing a niche where exploring the benefits and strategies of niche specialization. I write about embracing technology and how technology can raise the bar on your financial planning practice while creating time in your day. My longest chapter, with 10 sections, talks to my client acquisition strategy. I focus on how to build a robust strategy for acquiring and retaining clients with many pearls of wisdom. My book would not be complete without writing about our work-life balance and working from anywhere. Maintaining a healthy balance between professional demands and personal well-being should be our long-term goal. Each chapter is crafted to address the challenges we face daily and to provide you with the tools needed to overcome them. Why do I want you to embrace my gift book? Because it is not theory, it is practical wisdom. Drawing from over 2 decades of my experience, this book combines insights with practical wisdom. It offers practical applications that you can implement immediately to see measurable results and growth. It has an holistic approach and covers every aspect of the financial advising profession, from technical skills to emotional intelligence, ensuring that you develop a well-rounded approach to your practice. It has a client-centric focus throughout the chapters. At its core, Mirror Successful Advisors emphasizes the importance of understanding and aligning with your client's needs and objectives. It teaches you to mirror your success in your client's financial well-being and professional development, not in money. It embraces ethics, integrity, and a robust code of conduct. In a profession where trust is paramount, my book reinforces the importance of ethical considerations and integrity in all your dealings. The book encourages a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation, crucial for staying relevant in the financial services profession. The first 5 years in financial advising are critical. My book is tailored to address the unique challenges and opportunities faced by advisors in this initial 5-year period, helping them build a solid foundation for a successful career. Finally, Mirror Successful Advisors is more than just a book. It is a roadmap to becoming a better advisor, a trusted partner, and a true advocate for your clients and our profession. I invite all young advisors to embrace this gift I'm giving back, not just for your professional growth, but for the profound impact it can have on the lives of those you serve in our profession. Let's continue to raise the bar for excellence and make a lasting difference in our clients' lives and our profession. Thank you for joining me on the advisor path. And let's hope for our economy, sanity prevails with the government of national unity, and they stay united. Have a good weekend and a great weekend. Over to you, Francois.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Kobus, and congratulations on number 5. I think that's going to be the best one yet. So there's such valuable information in there. And once again, I know what goes into these things. So big congratulations with that. Alrighty. So ladies and gents, let's do a couple of announcements and see how quick I can do it, because I am actually a little bit out of time. Let's still do it. Righty, fantastic. So, you know, I think I bought my laptop about like 4 years ago. And I've typed so much that some of the keys on the keyboard are either not working anymore, or they, if I tap it once, it actually types it 3 times. So I think I either need to get a new keyboard for my laptop, or I need to get an external one, or get an all new laptop altogether. Anyway, so today I want to have a hashtag for the first time in a long time. And the whole purpose of this is going to be so that we can give away a book, right? So mirror success. If you can put hashtag mirror success in the comments, and then we will do a draw right at the end once we are done with today's session. So we are looking forward to doing that. And in fact, Kobus has offered for us to give away a book every single week for the rest of the year. So for the next 6 months, every single week, you can win a book, a signed copy of any of his books. It's your choice which one you want. And you will be able to win that just by participating in the chat and sort of using our special code that we use for the day. So fantastic. So thank you very much for that, Kobus. Right. So let's get into all of the announcements. Right. So let me just get my screen right. Right. So first one is the day of CPD. Man, am I excited about this? We have got a brand new, or the agenda rather is finalized. So we're waiting for the CPD allocation. So that's absolutely fantastic. Really excited for this. It's something completely different. And the one thing that I always like about sort of the way that our agendas come together is, one, we look at what is really critical and top of mind for advisors and planners today. And then we craft our agenda around that. So it's not like, oh, what can you do, and what can you do, and what can the next person do? We really look at these things. We involve great people, great speakers to come and talk about these events or talk about these topics. And we really have an incredible lineup. So the links are down below in the description. So if you see the day of CPD, there's a link to the agenda easily that you can go and see what we'll be talking about. We've got 5 presentations and 1 panel discussion. None of them are longer than 45 minutes. And it's all in one day. Now, just to quickly remind you what the day of CPD is about. The day of CPD is about helping you attain your and be compliant long before we get to May. So if the only thing is that you do from now until February next year is a 10-hour day of CPD, you will be at 18 CPD points, or very, 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 very close to it, because there's sometimes certain things that we don't get CPD points for. But because this is a day of CPD, we try to be spot on with these, with what would qualify for that. So that's the whole purpose of the day of CPD. We want people to be compliant in an easy way. So you attend the sessions, that's it, right? No funny business. We don't offer recordings. It's going to be live only. Because if you're not going to do it live, you're going to do it on the 31st of May using the recordings. And yeah, that's not really the idea here. So the first day of CPD is absolutely free with the compliments of our sponsors, which is really an incredible gesture from them. So we have Asset Map, we have Old Mutual Wealth, Innate, we have Fairbairn Consult, Profile Me, and ComSpace, all making sure, or making it possible rather, for you to attend the first one for free. The other 3 that's coming, they will be, there is a fee to attend. We always sell tickets to our events. So, but this first one is free. And I must say, there's limited space. Okay, we can only accommodate so many on our Zoom license for the webinar. So do get in first, otherwise you're not going to be in. So that's the day of CPD, the 10th of July. All the information is on our website. If ever you look for any kind of information from us, just go to the website. I promise you it's there. And if it's an event, it's under the events tab. It's very easy to find. So go and have a look at the day of CPD. All the information is there. The agenda is there. And you can book your complimentary ticket with love and compliments from our sponsors. Right. Then Kim did mention this a little bit earlier. The Client Connection Masterclass kicked off this week. It was absolutely amazing. I learned so much from this. It's an hour session. There's 4 more sessions to come. and it's exclusive for our members. So it's not that you can't get access to it any other way. I had a few emails to say, how do I join? How do I join? Well, the only way is to become a member. But I also don't want this to be the thing for you to become a member just to access this thing. Go have a look at what Propulsion does and all the other benefits that you get, and then decide whether you want to become a member. But the link as well is down below in the description, so you can find out more about the Propulsion community. Then our next one also this and that's the beauty about what we do in Propulsion. Like, this specific program is evolving. The Microsoft Teams for advisory firms. Richard is really a fantastic presenter, and the way that he brings everything together and makes us think differently about this is really incredible. So this specific program is really blowing my mind at the moment, and it's showing you what's possible. You know, we often think that Teams is just a meeting tool. It's not. It's so much more. It could be. Because it's also not to say that you have to adopt a Microsoft approach and a Teams approach and whatever. But and also it is interesting to see people's comments, like the way they where they sort of box Teams into their thinking and into their business and whether it would work or not. But the one thing I can tell you is that what's possible with Teams is absolutely mind-blowing. And then the last thing, which I don't have a thumbnail for, but after the Teams one is done, then we have a very short break, and then we have an Excel one coming up, but specifically for financial advisors. So specifically looking at, yes, formulas is always a thing, but also data, etc. So we're really looking forward to that one then as well. So all of those are available to the Propulsion members. By the way, Propulsion members attend all the day of CPDs. In fact, they attend all our events for free. You don't pay for them. It's included in your membership. So that alone makes it worth the while. Alrighty. Ladies and gents, thank you very much. If you've been, just a quick reminder of the hashtag Mirror Success. And if you put that in the chat, you'll be included in the lucky draw. So hashtag Mirror Success. And we'll do that right at the end. Alrighty, so if you've watched this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And then also if you're watching on demand or the recording, thank you so much as well. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And at the very least, if you're finding value here, please hit the like button. That's really the thing that I look at every week, is how many likes that the video get. You know, it is incredible. But there's a few things that I'll chat about in future as well. So anyways, let me get on with the show. Thank you very much. And on to our featured topic, which is this, that, and the other, a mix of issues and solutions for financial advisors. Here we go. So this, that, and the other. So where did this come from? Well, as I was preparing for today's episode, and I was thinking, you know, what is really topical at the moment? I think there's so many things, and there's two sides to it, right? There's a what is topical for me as Francois in the profession at the moment, things that might be bugging me, things that I'm really excited about, you know, in anything in between. And then obviously the things that I see and hear people talk about, and conversations that I have with people as well. So there's a couple of things that we want to touch on. And just to give you a brief idea, I want to talk a little bit about leveling up your virtual meeting setups. It's the one thing that annoys the living daylights out of me. I'll talk about that in a minute. Then also the importance of titles in the financial advisory profession or industry or whatever you want to call it. And then a very important one as well, the difference between marketing and prospecting. I often get people asking me about, how do I market my financial services business or my practice? How do I market? So, but there's also sometimes, I think, a confusion between that and prospecting. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Then I'm going to talk about the next generation of financial planners just briefly, and then also the power of community, which is an important part for me, because a lot of the things can be addressed through that as well. Right, so let's get started and talk about your virtual meeting setup. Now, this is something that's incredible to me. Let me say this, that I know that it takes money to invest into these things, and it's not that everybody can have a major setup with which you can take over the world, which I completely understand. But there are very small things that you can do that's going to cost you, if you do all of it, less than 5,000 Rand. in order to get a proper setup that looks great, that sounds great, and that's an enjoyable experience for the person on the other end of the screen. Because the one thing that we never think about is like, what is the experience on the other end of the screen? And I often think about, because here's the thing that why it annoys me is that I often get to talk to people that work for big corporates, and you look at their setups. I'm not talking about normal meetings and things. I talk about, like, I interview them for other things, for other shows and for other podcasts and for other productions and things that we do for others. And then, like, these people, you see them everywhere, but yet they're still only using the built-in features of their laptop, the built-in audio, the built-in camera. Like, they sit in different places. It's really like, the sound isn't great. None of those things are great. And my big question is, why are the corporates not investing into proper virtual setups for people that represent their brand? Like, it goes beyond what I can really imagine or understand, rather. For me, that should be like, that's part of the brand. Like, this is not like you're joining a meeting and we're having a meeting about what's our next strategy and what do we want to do, etc. This is somebody out there being a thought leader, sharing important information and views and opinions, but it doesn't look great. It doesn't sound great. Often the background and the person is like one, because like everything's white or that. So it's really not a great thing that I've seen before. But also then the other thing that made me think about is, like, what is your client's experience? Because it's not about, what your experience is with your client. It's about their experience with you when they are watching you on a screen and you're not meeting with them in person. And the other thing is that none of these people from the corporates will show up to an in-person event, not looking the part, not being well prepared. And also the amazing thing is that corporates, when they do put on an event, it's the whole show. It's lights and it's banners and it's colors and it's just, everything's just amazing. But yet when we do it virtually, suddenly, let's just use the built-in stuff. And that for me is really something that we need to take note of. It is important also just for in your business, for your experience with your client, what that does to their experience and how long you could actually have a conversation with somebody virtually. And also think about it, like, if you travel a lot, what is your setup? I was watching a thing the other day that I did while I was traveling, and that's sort of the bare minimum setup you need in any event that gives you a great experience. Anyways, I don't want to waffle on about this, but it is quite important. So the first thing is just get an external webcam. In certain instances, if you use certain types of laptops, they have built-in 1080p cameras already, and the camera is quite good. The problem with that, though, is that often, like this, for example, if I had to look at my camera on my laptop, this is what you will be seeing because of where I'm seated and because the laptop screen is always lower than what you are. So you have to either lift the laptop or do things like that in order to get eye level. But whereas if you've got an external camera, you can put it on a tripod or on a stand or something, or at the top of another screen that you may have, and you can just sit up straight and just have a look at that. So it's just a much better experience. But it's about the quality. It's about how clear it is. There is a massive difference between your built-in camera and an external camera, right? So just think about those things. The other big thing that I'll talk about, and not obviously audio and lights and all of those things are important, but probably the one thing that is more important for me is your background. I'm not a big fan of virtual backgrounds. Not saying don't use them, but if you want to use them, make sure that you either using a green screen or you are very well. The lights must be great for the virtual background to really work properly, because there's nothing more annoying than the top of somebody's head going away, or when they're waving, you suddenly see, oh, there's some stuff in the background, So those are the kinds of things. It's great to have your virtual background and have all of the things and, like your logo and all that good stuff. But ultimately, I think a proper background in your environment where you do your meetings or your presentations or your talks is actually more useful. Anyway, so I'm going to step off of that because I guess you get my drift and why this is important. But just think about those kind of things. You can literally get a proper mic, a proper webcam that's 1080p, and you can sort out your background for quite cheaply. I'm pretty sure you can do that under 5,000 Rand. Maybe if you invest more, you can definitely have a fantastic setup under 10 grand without breaking the bank. So yeah, just my thoughts on that. Then the second one is the importance of titles in the financial advisory industry and profession. Well, this is something that's also been close to my heart for a very, very long time. There was the categorization paper that went nowhere with RDR, and it was actually ridiculous in my humble opinion. Again, around the types of advisors that want to, like, product supplier, agent, and like all these weird and wonderful things, right? My question is always like, what is in the mind of the client? What is it that the client understands? Or what is it that makes sense to them? That's really the thing that is more important. And ultimately, I was asking somebody the other day, like, do you think a client knows the difference between a financial advisor and a financial planner, or even a broker for that matter? Is it all the same to them? Because it doesn't help us changing names and having titles unless they know and understand, and it's very clear in their mind what the difference is. The one thing I also learned recently is that, talking about financial advice and financial planning in the UK means a little bit something different to what it means to us here in South Africa, which is also quite interesting to me. It's a small difference, but still there's a bit of a different view around it. So those are the kinds of things that I think when we start thinking about titles, and then obviously there's the fourth part of it, where some of us come up with our own, like, proprietary titles for ourselves, right? And some people go as far as to register them as trademarks or so forth. And that's fantastic. But again, then you do marketing around that to make sure that your target market knows and understands what that stands for and what that means. Then we have things like, I'm a CFP professional on top of these things, or I'm an FSA, or I'm it's like all these designations. And again, do the client really know what this is? Now, I don't have answers for this here, but what I can tell you is that we're putting together a big panel discussion around this specific topic. So if you're interested in that, and if it's something that you'll attend, it's going to be virtual with some fantastic people on that panel. Just maybe in the comments, just say yes, please, or just write panel. I'll know then what that is. But it's really an interesting thing, because I do think that the big impact around titles is it's the perception and the trust. Kobus was talking about the importance of building trust with clients, and it is the foundation of everything. But there's different points in the journey where we build trust, and what we call ourselves can definitely impact trust, I think, on the one hand, and then also on the other hand, it can definitely impact the perception that people have of us. If you think about doctors, and again, I do not want to compare us to doctors, because I think they've got a long way to go, actually, most of them. So when we talk about doctors, it's very clear, like, they're a doctor. So we know a doctor is somebody that can make me healthy. And then within being a doctor, there's somebody that can help fix my knee. There's somebody that can help fix my back. There's somebody that can help fix, other things. So that's the sort of clear thing that they've done well in people's minds, that people know what a urologist is. Okay, people know all of these kinds of things. But in our world, do they know what a financial advisor is? Do they know what a financial planner is? Do they know? So I think that's where we've got a lot of work to do. And it starts with our own practices and what we do inside with our own clients, and how we educate our clients about what we do and what the difference is from people that do other things. Not to say that I'm better than the person next door, because ultimately every business has a specific client that they serve, and that client has a need which they are very happy with to work with that particular business. So somebody that offers a specific value proposition, and we do something completely different, those things, it doesn't mean that the one is better than the other, right? It's just a distinction. And are we clear so that people are able to make a decision around what is it that they actually need and want from us, and which one of those two businesses will probably serve their needs the best? Doesn't mean that your way is better. Doesn't mean that it's worse. So that's important. So anyway, I just think this is really an important topic, and something I wanted to leave with you, just to think about, what we call ourselves and what does it mean, and are we educating our clients on what it is that we do and what we don't do as a financial advisor, as a financial planner, or as a broker, for example. There's other things as well. Then our third topic is around marketing versus prospecting. And I think this is really something that is confusing to a lot of people. And again, like many things in the profession, we talk about things interchangeably. When we say marketing, but we mean prospecting, or we talk about prospecting, but we mean marketing, because we're not clear on exactly what the difference is and sort of what that entails. But if I can sort of highlight this, or let me say not highlight this, but maybe define this in sort of a simple way. Marketing is all about a one-to-many strategy. It's about creating awareness. It's about building brand. It's about building a relationship and familiarity and making sure that people know what it is that you do and who you do it for. So that's a message that is sent out broadly, but maybe to a specific type of person. So if I say broadly, it means let's just say that you have an ideal client that you would really want to work with, or maybe you just work with engineers, you just work with accountants, you just work with whoever, business owners and things like that, then you may just talk to that. But in that segment, you go very, very broad. So you want to reach all the business owners, for example. Or you may say, I only work with small business owners, or I only work with large businesses, or whatever that may be. But then you target all of them with your communications. So that's really what marketing is. It's really to make sure that there's an awareness and people know about you, what it is you do and who you do it for. That's really the purpose of marketing. Prospecting, on the other hand, is actually going out and identifying specific clients and contacting those specific clients. So marketing is more of a, let me attract people to me. It's more like a magnet. I want the right people to come to me. And if I do my marketing well, it will be like a filter and we attract people to ourselves. The way prospecting is that we are in the driving seat and we go out and we go and identify people and we contact those people, we have a conversation with those people, but it's very much a one-to-one approach in that sense. So when you go one-to-many, you're throwing out lines and see which one bites. That's sort of bringing people in, and then sort of the conversation starts from there. So marketing is more attracting people to you. Prospecting is more going out and finding people and not let sort of just the river flows at its own time. What is really important for me as well when it comes to marketing is that marketing is a long game. It's really something that takes a long time. So you're not going to market today and tomorrow have a client. Not that it's not possible. You might just find somebody at the right time looking for the thing that you're offering at exactly that point in time, and they might, yeah, there's me. But typically in our world, people first want to see if they can trust you, if you are credible, and whether you care more about them than yourself. So that's sort of the things that they might be looking for before taking the step. So that's why it's a long game. It's a lot of content creation and webinars and events and things like that. Then on the other hand, you have prospecting, which is a short-term game. So prospecting is more like, look, we've got to earn revenue now. We need clients now. We can't wait for somebody to read my article 3 years from now and then have a realization that they want to speak to me. We have to earn revenue today. So you basically need both of these things. But there might be times where you prospect more, and there might be times when you prospect less. There might be, in my opinion, a business should always be marketing. You never, ever stop marketing. Doesn't matter how big you get, where you get, because it's that concept about out of sight, out of mind. And at the very least, maybe you don't market outside to attract new clients, because maybe you're in a point in your business where you don't want more clients, but you definitely want to keep marketing to your existing clients. That's the beauty, right? So marketing never, ever stops. Prospecting depends on capacity and sort of where you are, etc. So typically, as you build your business, if I talk about the financial advisor curve and the practice curve as well, or the business maturity curve, as you grow the revenue in the business and as it's more and more of a recurring nature and it's more predictable, etc., you will do less prospecting. You don't need to do as much prospecting because you've already done that. You've already built the business. But marketing, you've got to stay top of mind. You've got to make sure your existing clients know what you're up to, that you're still there, that you're looking at things. So that's a very important one as well. So hopefully that helps. I've spoken in a few of the episodes this season around some strategies and things that you can follow. So you can find that on the channel as well. Then the fourth one is the next generation of financial planners. This is something that's very close to my heart. I wish I had more time to just sort of think about solutions in this space, or at least talk about this a lot more. But there's nothing that hurts me as much as, like, I mean, this is very simple. Right? So I equate it to the same thing here. If I walk in a mall and you have this small shop that was there, and then suddenly just one day you walk past and they closed. Then I always go like, and that's sometimes, especially if it's within a year from opening, that's somebody that had a dream and a vision for themselves, and they had a passion for what it is that they do. And they thought, I'm going to make this work. They maybe went out and borrowed money to do this. Maybe they had their own money. That doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is the money is gone because this thing did not work. And there's nothing as heartbreaking for me as that. Now, that same feeling I get when I think about the next generation of financial planners going through all of the motions to do NQF 5, 6, 7, and 8. And trust me, I train those people. I know how much they go through. So it's really a long journey. And then we get there, and then it doesn't work out because the support is not what they need. Maybe it's a misalignment of expectations. I mean, there's many reasons. Often I think it was he or she just wasn't got out for this business. It's not true. If we think about where we are, right, we're really in a fortunate place where we have been around for a long time. We've built businesses that has clients, of which we don't want to let go, by the way. So we've built these businesses. We the most technologies that's ever existed is part of our businesses, or it's available to us. We know how to find clients. We've built relationships. We know how to. Most of you, if I ask you, like, what is your top prospecting tool, you'll say, well, I don't prospect. I only get referrals. That's hard work that you put in. It's hard work that is paying off dividends for you, where people are referring other clients to you, which is the place to get to. But yet, when new people start in this business and they're 25 or 30 or whatever their age is, we expect them to go and find new clients themselves in a world where cold calling is dead. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it doesn't work the way it used to work 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. People were happy to get a phone call. Today, we use Truecaller to say, no, thank you very much. And if I don't know the number, and if it starts with an 87, I don't answer. So those are the kinds of things that we need to think about when we bring new people into the business. If you look at the things that they're really looking for, is that they're looking for support. They're looking for mentorship. They want to know how, because the one thing, they may have all the technical knowledge. They may be up to date with everything that's gone because they've just finished. And trust me, they've gone through a process of passing their PCE to get to CFP. That's a process. They have knowledge. What they don't always have is how do I talk to other people? How do I now relay this information to someone? So they have the knowledge, they can apply it in practice, but how do I communicate this? What do I say? What don't I say? How do I get to learn more about a client? What should I be focusing on? What should I not be focusing on? Do I want to be a paraplanner, or do I want to be an advisor? Do I do something else? And those are the things that are really missing from this point. And I think it's really important that we also understand that. Now, I believe any business's job is to market and prospect. It's not the individual's business, right? So if you're bringing somebody new into your business for succession or for whatever reason, just think about, how can you feed them with clients? So yes, there's a portion of your clients that you can just hand to them to start looking after. Or what are you doing from a business point of view to keep marketing and to keep prospecting so that you can feed them clients that they can then see? Do you have a set program and a set sort of process that you take new people through? Even if it's just that one, even if it's your only and first financial advisor that you want to appoint in your business, what is your plan to take them through to get to in a 3 to 5 year window? That's so important. But what do? We say, welcome here. Fantastic. This is the most amazing profession, but go find your own way. I don't know how that's ever going to work. So education can only take you so far. we really need to take their hands. I had this conversation with someone where she said 17 of the people, there were a group of 17 that studied together, that passed their CFP and their PCE, so the postgrad and their PCE. Only 3 of them are still in practice. I mean, what a waste, what a loss. It's really, really sad. So we need to do more from this point of view, and happy to have more conversations around this. My last point for this morning is around the power of community. Now, there's really 3 ways that we can do anything. And I did a poll quite a while back, maybe a year and a half or maybe even 2 years ago on LinkedIn. And I just asked, if you have a problem in your business, what do you do? Do you go and learn how to do it yourself? Do you outsource it? What do you do? Right? And one of the things that we learned is that a lot of people want to do it themselves. And again, one thing that I've learned in my business is that maybe you're interested to learn how that works, but should you? That's not your primary job. That's not your primary function. If you want to implement automation in your business, as a simple example, some of you are very inclined to go and learn how to do that, like I did. Like I learned how to incorporate and build these automations. But is that my job? Is that my role? No, it's not. That is somebody who loves that and breathes and lives that. That is what they should be doing, and we should be giving it to them. So there's the do-it-yourself part. Then there's the do-it-for-me part. But what we're seeing because a lot of times on the do-it-yourself part, even the do-it-for-me part, is that we somewhere lose steam along the way, or we get distracted with something else and want to do other stuff. So very important that the one thing that is really working well is doing it with others. There's something when there's accountability added to this, or we're in a group going through something together. That's why people form study groups, right? I'm not on my own. I go through this together. We had some PCE prep sessions the last 2 weeks for the next sitting, which is in about 2 weeks' time or something. And those people came to these sessions together. They are there together because together you can achieve more. And that's, for me, is the power of community. Now, think about, that's basically what propulsion is. But think about this from your client's point of view. So do you have these individual clients, like 400 or 300 or 1,000, whatever of them? Or what are you going to do to evolve this into a community? And the difference is where they do life together. They do business together. They get to know each other. And it's much more than just, I am Francois' client. Becomes a whole different ballgame once you start transforming, if you will, your practice from a client base into a community. So this, for me, is really, really important from an advisor point of view. I've asked this question. I've spoken about this at the Global Financial Planning Conference 3 years ago. I don't think people are paying attention yet, but this is really something that's very important from a financial advice planning practice point of view or business point of view. Is how do you create a community? And if you're a very large business, how do you create communities within that for different types of clients? Very, very important to just think about those things as well. All right, we're a little bit over time. Let me head on over and let's do the lucky draw. All right. So the one thing that I am just trying to do is just find the StreamYard link. So just give me a second for the lucky draw, because there's a very special link. I've got it. So let's do this. Let me just go to the link. One moment. Alrighty, so it was, let's put it in. Sorry guys, give me a second. Mirror success. Alrighty, so we've got 26 entries in the draw. I am going to share my screen. So let me do that. Then I've got this. All right, and then let me add this to the slides. Righty, so there we go. That's mirror success. Let me make that a little bit bigger for you. So there we go. Mirror success. 26. If you're not in the draw, then sorry for you. But here we go. So let's see who will win the first round of books from Kobus. And let's see. So thank you very much for participating. Really enjoy this. Who will it be? Cindy Olsen. Cindy, fantastic. I will send you a little link where you can just complete your details for us. And then we will have Kobus send you the book. So fantastic. Thank you very much. Alrighty, so well done, Cindy. Ladies and gents, so the one thing that I did not mention earlier on in the announcements is that we are taking our mid-season break. So every year in the beginning of July, we take 2 weeks break from the show. So there won't be a show for the next 2 weeks. We will be back, however, on the 23rd of July, if my memory serves me right. So for the next 2 weeks, there's not going to be a show. We might put out something that so that you don't just go cold turkey from not having a show. But be that as it may, we will be back then in 2 weeks' time. And until then, and I have a special guest back then, which we at that time, which we will announce. Anyway, you see why I need a break. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe, be blessed and prosper, and continue to raise the bar. Love you lots. Bye-bye.